it's me, MJFANGIRL, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about Michael Jackson's humanitarianism. Find out how he contributed not only his money, but his time and other efforts towards helping those in need. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it. You are now watching MJFANGIRL TV.
Girl, you got
Alright guys, so if you have not seen my face before, my name is MJFANGIRL and I make videos for and about the Michael Jackson fan community right here on YouTube. Make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button if you're interested in any of that type of content, and also hit the notification bell. There's a little bell icon, you click all notifications, that way YouTube will let you know every time I upload. Alright, so I figured that this is a really good time to come in and talk about Michael Jackson's humanitarianism. It's something that I've never really talked about on this channel, and I feel like it's such an important part of Michael Jackson's legacy and what he wanted to be remembered for. I actually saw an interview with Prince Jackson, his oldest son, the other night, and he actually said that Michael Jackson wanted to be remembered more for his charitable contributions and his philanthropy as opposed to his musical legacy, which I thought was incredible. And I think that as Michael Jackson fans, his charitable efforts should be recognized and talked about in addition to his musical legacy because it was just that important. Alright, so the book that's going to be helping us talk about Michael Jackson's humanitarian efforts and his legacy today, guys, is going to be this book. It's called Humanitarian, The Real Michael Jackson. It's written by Paul Dwyer, and I was really excited to come across this. Sort of a chronological timeline of Michael Jackson's humanitarian efforts. And the cool thing about this is it doesn't just focus on one era. It actually starts off with his years in the Jackson 5 at Motown, and it goes all the way up and through in 2009, right before his untimely passing. So I also wanted to go over some cool facts that I found out about the book before we get into it. The author actually funded the setup, the publishing, the creation, the printing of the book all on his own. He raised the funds for that himself. This book was also made in the spirit of Michael Jackson's charity work because all of the proceeds from this book actually go to a local children's hospital in Australia that Michael Jackson himself visited. So I thought that was really awesome. So all the stories in this book are really well researched, and many of them actually include photos as well, but all of them include dates and places and times, and I thought that it was really cool to just see also how Michael Jackson's humanitarianism evolved throughout his career. So let's jump into some examples. So let's start off with talking about We Are the World. Yes, all of us know the song, but do you know that actually the song raised over $150 million and counting for USA for Africa Foundation, the USA Aid for Africa, which I'm actually wearing the shirt today. We Are the World actually raised money for relief in Africa, including agriculture, reforestation, and water management, and other things that go towards uplifting the communities there in Africa and the places that they need it. It's not just helping, you know, the hungry and the poor, but really actually also contributing towards creating a better infrastructure in many of these different places, so I thought that that was interesting. One of the themes in the book that I thought was really touching, honestly, was that some people mentioned that when Michael Jackson visited them in the children's hospital or when they were, you know, maybe sick at home, he visited a lot of Make-A-Wish Foundation kids, and one of the things that I found that was so touching was the fact that so many people felt like Michael Jackson's visit and his words when he met them gave them kind of an extended lease on life. So many of these people ended up living way past their projected times. You know, doctors would say you have 6 months to live. They would go on to live years more, or just parents saying that, you know, their child passed away even soon afterwards they met Michael, but that their lives were just filled with so much joy after having met him. Michael Jackson also not only toured the world and touched many people through his music and his art, but during those tour stops, a lot of people don't know that Michael Jackson was also visiting orphanages and hospitals in between those times. He felt that it was even more important to go out and reach and touch those who were in need, you know, and who were just in a place where they needed to receive love. And I feel like that was a lot of the theme that I saw running through this book. It really showed how dedicated Michael Jackson was towards humanitarianism. And I'm just gonna go through and talk to you guys about some of the really important stories or things that touched me. In September of 1993, I'm going to kind of jump to the dangerous era because I was just really touched by this. It says, Michael Jackson postponed his flight out of Moscow, Russia, and instead went to visit a children's hospital. The kids were excited when they saw the King of Pop in their midst and fought for his attention. A medical aide later told Michael asking for one of the children to be flown to America for care and treatment, which of course he paid for. Michael held children on his arms and in his lap, and he comforted them and played with them. It was also really sweet. Michael asked the kids, do they know a song that they can all sing together? And it just really touches me because it's like Michael wanted to actually be there. Michael Jackson wasn't just donating his time, he wasn't just donating his money, but the fact that he was also really specific about helping out specific cases, like specific people that he'd heard of that, you know, their kids had cancer or they were sick with some type of ailment or they needed surgery or a transplant. You know, Michael would pay for those things, and we sometimes, I think, overlook the fact that Michael was this huge celebrity, but he still had eyes for every single individual, it feels like, you know, when he was in a room, especially when he was visiting the underprivileged. And I love the fact that this book take the time out to highlight some of those people. I believe the author actually went and interviewed some of the people that were visited and were blessed with some of Michael Jackson's humanitarian efforts, with, you know, contributions, whether that be liver transplants or visits, and I think that that was really cool because we've never really heard their side of the story. The book includes so many different pictures of Michael actually sitting there and speaking with children and being like on the floor playing with them with toys, and I just think that it really just is something that we should talk more about, the fan community. I'm not going to go through this entire book because there's so many different stories and I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I highly recommend that you guys check this out. If you care about Michael Jackson's humanitarian efforts, which you should, because I feel like it's such a big part of who he was as a person, as an artist, and who he wanted to be known for is the humanitarian, the real Michael Jackson. So I just kind of want to show you guys inside of the book as well. It's kind of set up like this, where you have the different dates and the activities that Michael participated in, and you've got pictures for everything. And I think that this was really, really cool because it's like, yeah, it's nice to hear stories, but to have actually documentation of all of these instances, and great quality pictures too. Make sure that you guys are visiting the link for the book, the actual author's website, because there's actually links to where you can purchase the book in your country. I know that you can get it on Amazon.com, so I'll link it for you guys there also. And I'm also going to be linking at the end of this video the humanitarian documentary that comes with the book. So let me know if you guys have read this book. Let me know some of your favorite stories that have touched you about Michael Jackson as a humanitarian. I'd love to get the conversation started down below. And let me know if you want a video that's more in depth. We can talk about certain instances. We can talk about his humanitarianism as shown through his art. Make sure that you go and check out Humanitarian, The Real Michael Jackson by Paul Dwyer. This is a great addition to any Michael Jackson's fan collection. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.